It begins quietly, not with a scream, not with an argument, but with a silence that slowly grows inside a relationship. A silence that appears between two people who love each other, sit close to each other, sleep next to each other, yet feel a wall rising between their bodies. Intimacy fear is not loud. It doesn't break things. It doesn't leave marks anyone can see. It hides inside emotions, inside the mind, inside moments that should feel warm, but instead feel confusing. And the most shocking fact is this: millions of men and women experience intimacy fear without even knowing what it is. They think something is wrong with them. They think their partner is losing interest. Some even think love is fading. But the truth is usually different. Fear of intimacy is silent, but it controls everything. It controls fantasies, desire, touch, and sometimes even the ability to feel safe with someone you deeply trust. I'm Dr. Ayurmoolam, and today we are entering a world that lies between psychology, medicine, emotions, and ancient wisdom. A world where bodies respond to feelings, where minds shape desire, and where fantasies hold clues to healing. Intimacy fear is not just a psychological topic. It is a medical concern, an emotional weight, a relationship pattern, and sometimes a trauma response. And the reason this topic matters is simple. Without understanding intimacy fear, couples keep suffering silently. They keep misreading each other. They keep fighting without knowing the real cause. Someone pulls away. Someone tries too hard. Someone shuts down. Someone overthinks. Someone blames themselves. And someone ends up feeling alone in a relationship that was supposed to be a safe space. To explain this, I want you to imagine a couple I once met. A young woman and a man who looked tired, frustrated, and confused. She wanted closeness, but froze whenever he got too near. He felt rejected, but didn't want to hurt her by saying so. Nights became stressful. Days felt heavy. Both kept pretending everything was fine. But fear does not disappear when you avoid it. It grows in the shadows. And that couple's story represents millions. Some fear losing control. Some fear being seen fully. Some fear not being enough. Some fear emotional closeness because it reminds them of past experiences. Intimacy fear has many faces. And tonight, we will uncover each one. Symptoms of intimacy fear are rarely dramatic. They show up as small, subtle signs. A person may avoid eye contact during close moments. Their body may stiffen when a partner touches them. They may suddenly feel pressure in the chest, a slight anxiety, or an urge to change the topic. Some feel guilt after physical closeness. Some feel confusion about their own fantasies. Some imagine intimacy in their mind easily but struggle when it becomes real. Patients often tell me that they want intimacy deeply, but their mind freezes at the exact moment they try to take a step forward. And this mismatch between desire and action creates frustration. Doctors observe very interesting patterns. Some patients blush or fidget when discussing physical closeness. Some breathe faster. Some explain everything logically but still feel uneasy. Some describe physical symptoms like dryness, erectile issues, premature ejaculation, or lack of arousal. Not because their body is weak, but because their mind is under strain. Fear signals can interrupt the body's natural sexual response. For example, anxiety can reduce lubrication in women and erection strength in men. Stress chemicals like cortisol can overpower pleasure hormones like dopamine and oxytocin. And in many cases, the body reacts faster than the mind can understand. To find the root cause, we need to understand the science behind intimacy fear. Medical science explains it as a combination of emotional triggers, hormonal imbalance, anxiety patterns, and past conditioning. When someone fears closeness, the brain's amygdala becomes more active. This is the part that handles fear. It sends signals to the body that danger is near, even when the person logically knows they are safe. This triggers fight or flight mode, which shuts down desire. It's not intentional, it's biological. Ayurveda sees intimacy fear through the lens of the mind and doshas. Excess vata causes overthinking, fear, dryness, restlessness, and withdrawal. Excess pitta creates performance pressure and anger, especially when expectations are not met. Excess kapha causes emotional shutdown or overattachment. Ayurveda also teaches that suppressed emotions block the flow of life energy, called prana, and this blockage affects reproductive energy, called shukra. When the emotional layer is disturbed, the physical layer reacts, leading to sexual hesitation, fear, or imbalance. The root cause often lies in past experiences. Some people have experienced emotional hurt. Some have a strict upbringing that made intimacy feel shameful. Some grew up in families where affection was never shown. Some carry trauma from past relationships. Some fear being judged. Some fear losing their identity. Some fear being abandoned. The mind stores these memories and releases fear during moments of closeness. This is why fantasies can feel safe while real intimacy feels scary. In the fantasy world, no one can hurt you. You are in control. There are no expectations, but in real life, intimacy requires vulnerability, and vulnerability awakens fear. The suspense deepens when diagnosis begins. How does a doctor diagnose intimacy fear? There is no single test. Diagnosis is a careful process. I start by listening, understanding emotional history, understanding the fears that rise during closeness. If physical symptoms appear, we conduct blood tests to check hormones like estrogen, testosterone, thyroid hormones, and prolactin. These can influence desire and anxiety. In women, we sometimes check for vaginal dryness causes, which may include low estrogen, infections, or stress-related conditions. In men, we check for erection-related hormonal patterns. Psychological assessments help identify anxiety, fear patterns, and unresolved emotions. Ayurveda assessment checks for dosha imbalance, digestive health, sleep quality, and emotional stability. A person should consult a doctor when fear begins affecting their relationship, mental peace, or physical health, or when intimacy avoidance becomes a repeated pattern. Treatment is a journey, not a shortcut. Let's begin with diet. Food affects emotions more than people think. A diet rich in warm, nourishing foods helps calm the nervous system. Soups, khichdi, ghee, almonds, walnuts, dates, bananas, and herbal teas soothe vata imbalance. Omega-3 fats support hormone balance and reduce anxiety. Avoiding cold foods, excessive caffeine, alcohol, junk food, and sugar helps stabilize mood. A person struggling with intimacy fear should not skip meals. Hunger amplifies anxiety. Ayurveda recommends including ashwagandha, shatavari, nutmeg milk at night, and saffron-infused warm milk to support emotional calmness and reproductive vitality. Exercise is powerful, not just for physical fitness, but for emotional release. Simple walking reduces cortisol. Yoga releases tension stored in hips and chest, two areas deeply connected to intimacy. Poses like child's pose, cat-cow, butterfly pose, cobra pose, and deep hip stretches release emotional blocks stored in the pelvic region. Pelvic floor relaxation exercises help people who tighten their muscles unconsciously during intimacy. Deep breathing stabilizes the nervous system. Meditation builds emotional safety. Even 10 minutes daily helps reduce fear significantly. Medicines and supplements depend on the individual. Ashwagandha reduces anxiety and improves sexual function in both men and women. Shatavari supports emotional and reproductive balance in women. Gakshura enhances vitality in men. Vitamin D, magnesium, and omega-3 supplements help regulate mood. In cases of hormonal imbalance, medicines may be needed. People with past trauma may benefit from therapy, which can be combined with medical treatment. Some require counseling to overcome emotional blocks. Ayurveda uses formulations like Brahmi, Jatamansi, and Manasmitra Vatakam for deep mental rest and clarity. Lifestyle and Ayurveda tips form the heart of treatment. Emotions heal when habits support them. Sleep early, wake up calmly, keep screens away before bed. Avoid overstimulation from porn, which can distort expectations and increase fear. Spend slow, gentle time with your partner. Talk without rushing. Create trust. Practice non-sexual intimacy like holding hands, resting together, sharing stories. These small acts train the brain to feel safe. Ayurveda recommends Abhyanga, a warm oil massage, which relaxes nerves and reduces anxiety. Sesame oil and Brahmi oil are especially useful. Keeping a gratitude journal helps shift emotional patterns. Drinking warm water throughout the day improves vata balance. Avoid isolation. Human connection is medicine. Let's look at what to do and what to avoid. Do communicate clearly. Do take things slowly. Do express boundaries. Do seek professional help when needed. Do follow grounding practices like breathwork. Don't force yourself. Don't pressure your partner. Don't ignore fear. Don't compare yourself with others. Don't suppress emotions. Prevention and long-term care rely on routine. A simple daily routine can build emotional security. Wake up at the same time. Eat grounding food. Exercise mildly. Limit negative thinking through journaling or meditation. Strengthen relationships through honest communication. Build a fantasy life that is healthy, not guilt-driven. Fantasies are not wrong. They are windows into the mind. They tell you what you desire, what you fear, and what you wish to explore. Use them to understand yourself, not to run away from real connection. Now imagine the couple again. They returned after months of work. She no longer froze when he came closer. He no longer felt rejected. They learned patience. They learned awareness. They learned that intimacy fear is not a weakness, but a misunderstood signal from the mind. They rebuilt trust step by step, and the silence between them disappeared. Not because they forced change, but because they understood where the fear came from and worked together to rise above it. This journey belongs to anyone who has ever felt fear instead of comfort in intimate moments. Anyone who has carried shame for reacting in ways they don't understand. Anyone who believed something was wrong with them. There is nothing wrong with you. There is only fear waiting to be understood. And when you understand it, intimacy stops being a threat. It becomes a language, a connection, a healing space. If this explanation helped you, make sure to like the video, share it with someone who may need it, and subscribe to Dr. Ayurmoolam for more clear and honest guidance on intimacy, emotional health, and relationships.